Mmm, look at that. That's Halloween party spaced out nicely on a counter for y'all because tonight we are doing the youth group Halloween party just before the Halloween weekend. And so here's some thoughts for you this evening before we get into it is just have some real talk about Halloween and this thing that actually in my experience, Mission takes seriously. Like, there's more Halloween decorations out than I see on Christmas. It's wild. It wasn't like this where I grew up in Surrey, even living in Abbotsford. It's pretty big there too, and I think it's increasingly getting big. But what I'm seeing in, especially happening, so I'm talking to you here too, some of the teens who are part of our youth group, is increasing love for this fear and horror genre. And yeah, I get the excitement of stimulation, the scared paranoia that comes out of like some movies and stories, stuff like that. But there's something around this celebration of fear and horror that I'm actually a little bit curious about, and I'm going to be a little bit critical of it here too, because I think it's important to really assess the kind of stuff that we take in, right? That we fuel ourselves with. In fact, even the Bible just straight up says it in Corinthians. Paul is telling the people there in Corinth was like a nuts place where everyone was worshiping everything under the sun and idols and all these other spirits, and they were getting into all sorts of dark stuff. And he says you can't serve darkness and God. They're two contradictory things. You can't fill yourself with fearful, with demons and fear, and also fill yourself with the Holy Spirit. So it's one or the other. Now, here's the dilemma, because we can't just use avoiding sinful things or things that are outside of the Bible and the world to just disconnect and check out, because frankly, God-fearing Christian people are often living outside of what the Bible tells us to be doing too. So how do we continue to actually live out a loving, interactive way in the world? And specifically continue living out the Great Commission, which is just going into the world, making disciples, showing people God's love, bringing the good news, the gospel there. And just like Paul going into Corinth and building a church there in a nuts place, or Jonah going into Nineveh, where he did not want to do anything there. And he's like, they're bad people. I just get me out of here, and still went because that was God's command and challenge. So how do you balance those two things? That's just a question to throw out for you there. 2 points to sum up is consider the stuff that you intake. What do you worship? And, really check yourself. If it's this horror, fear genre stuff, why are you so intrigued about that kind of stuff? But in the same way, what kind of light can we bring out on a night like Halloween? That's why as a church, we're going into the neighborhoods. We're handing out some hot chocolate, some candy, keeping you warm on a cold night because we love Mission and we love the neighbors around us. But yeah, wrestle with that tension, because there's a little bit of both. If we want to be in the world representing being agents of God in this world, we got to have that going. So take it easy, Cedar Valley. See you on Halloween night if you're coming out to help us out.